I still remember the day my best friend, Joe, said to me, "Walter, you've been running on the wrong track for so long. I'm not sure you'll ever find your way back." His words cut deep, and I couldn't shake the feeling that he was right. I was 60 years old at the time, and I had just been let go from my job at the local factory in Oakdale, Illinois. My name is Walter. I'm 78 years old now, and I want to share with you a story that taught me a lesson I wish I had learned decades earlier. It's a lesson about priorities and what truly matters in life. If you stick with me, you'll hear a story about how I spent 40 years chasing the wrong things and what I learned from it. It started back in the 1960s, when I was a young man living in Oakdale. I had just gotten married to my high school sweetheart, Karen, and we were expecting our first child. I was determined to provide for my family, so I took a job at the local factory, working long hours for minimal pay. I thought that if I just worked hard enough, I could give my family everything they deserved. I remember my boss, Mr. Johnson, telling me that if I wanted to get ahead, I needed to put in extra hours and take on more responsibilities. I did just that, often working 12-hour days, 6 days a week. As the years went by, I started to climb the corporate ladder. I got promotions, raises, and a nice house in the suburbs. But with each step up, I seemed to lose a little more of myself. I was so focused on providing for my family that I forgot to actually be present for them. I missed birthdays, holidays, and countless other moments that I can never get back. My kids would come home from school, and I'd be too tired to even talk to them. My wife would try to give my attention, but I was always too busy. I was making a good living, but I was losing my family in the process. But here is what I never told anyone. I was also struggling with the pressure to keep up appearances. I felt like I had to have the best car, the best house, and the best clothes. I was trying to keep up with the Joneses, and it was exhausting. I would lie awake at night, worrying about how I was going to pay for it all. I felt like I was living a lie, and it was suffocating me. The turning point came when my daughter, Sarah, graduated from high school. I was so proud of her, but I realized that I had missed most of her childhood. I had been too busy working to attend school plays, sports games, and parent-teacher conferences. She gave me a hug and said, "Dad, I'm glad you're here today, but where were you all these years?" Her words cut deep, and I knew I had made a mistake. I had been so focused on providing for my family that I had forgotten to be a part of it. As I looked back on my life, I realized that I had been chasing the wrong things. I had been chasing success, status, and security, but I had lost sight of what truly mattered. I had lost sight of my family, my friends, and myself. I had been living someone else's dream instead of my own. The revelation hit me like a ton of bricks. True happiness and fulfillment come from relationships, experiences, and personal growth, not from wealth, status, or material possessions. I wish I had learned this lesson earlier, but I'm grateful to have learned it at all. It's a lesson that I hope to pass on to others, so they don't make the same mistakes I did. But here is what I never told anyone. It took me a long time to forgive myself for my mistakes. I had to learn to let go of the guilt and the shame, and to focus on the present moment. I had to learn to appreciate the time I had with my family, and to make the most of it. It wasn't easy, but it was worth it. Now, I want to go back to what Joe said to me all those years ago. "Walter, you've been running on the wrong track for so long. I'm not sure you'll ever find your way back." Well, Joe, I did find my way back. I found my way back to what truly matters in life, and I'm grateful for it. If you're still with me, I want to thank you for listening to my story. If you'd like to hear more, please subscribe to my channel. As I look back on that journey, I realized that getting lost was a necessary part of finding myself. It's funny how life works, isn't it? We spend so much time trying to avoid the unknown, to stick to what's comfortable and familiar, but it's often the unknown that holds the key to our growth and transformation. For me, getting lost in the wilderness was a metaphor for the journey of life itself. We all get lost at some point, whether it's in our careers, our relationships, or our sense of purpose. But it's how we respond to that feeling of being lost that really matters. As I reflect on my experience, I'm reminded of the importance of being present in the moment. When I was lost, I had to focus on putting one foot in front of the other, on finding shelter and food, on surviving. I didn't have the luxury of worrying about the past or fretting about the future. All I could do was be present, and that's a lesson that has stayed with me to this day. Being present means letting go of distractions, of worries, of fears. It means being fully engaged in the moment, with all of our senses and our hearts. I think that's one of the reasons why I've been able to find so much joy and fulfillment in my life since my journey. I've learned to appreciate the simple things, to find beauty in the everyday moments that we often take for granted. A sunset, a good cup of coffee, a conversation with a friend, these are the things that bring me happiness, and they're the things that I try to focus on every day. Of course, it's not always easy. There are still days when I feel lost, when the darkness closes in and I wonder if I'm on the right path. But I've learned to trust myself, to trust the journey, and to trust that I'll always find my way back to what truly matters. And that's the message that I want to leave you with today. No matter where you are in your journey, no matter how lost you may feel, I want you to know that you are strong enough to find your way back. You are resilient, capable, and brave, and you have the power to create the life that you want. It's not going to be easy, and there will be times when you'll want to give up. But don't. Keep moving forward, one step at a time. Focus on the present moment, and trust that the future will take care of itself. And always remember that you're not alone. We're all on this journey together, and we all have the power to support and uplift each other. As I look back on my story, I'm reminded of the power of community and connection. I didn't find my way back alone. I had the help of strangers, of friends, and of family. And I want to thank each and every one of you who has been a part of my journey, whether you've been listening to my story or supporting me along the way. Your love, your kindness, and your encouragement have meant the world to me, and I'm so grateful to have you in my life. So, to anyone who is feeling lost or alone, I want you to know that you are seen, you are heard, and you are loved. You are not alone, and you never will be. We are all in this together, and we will all find our way back to what truly matters. Thank you again for listening to my story, and I'll see you in the next one. As I sit here, reflecting on the journey that has brought me to this moment, I am reminded of the countless faces and stories that have intersected with mine along the way, each one a thread in the intricate tapestry of human experience, woven together by the common thread of struggle and resilience. And as I look out into the vast expanse of the unknown, I am filled with a sense of hope and wonder, knowing that there are countless others out there who are navigating their own paths, seeking connection and meaning in the darkness. I think about the ones who have felt like they're walking on thin ice, the weight of their secrets and fears threatening to plunge them into the icy waters below at any moment. I think about the ones who have felt like they're drowning in a sea of expectation, their true selves suffocating under the pressure to conform. And I think about the ones who have felt like they're lost in a wilderness of uncertainty, with no map to guide them and no compass to point the way. But I also think about the ones who have found a way to rise above, to transform their struggles into strengths, and to emerge from the darkness into the light. The ones who have discovered that they are not alone, that there are others out there who understand and who care. The ones who have learned to lean into their vulnerabilities, to trust in the kindness of strangers, and to find solace in the beauty of the unknown. As I look back on my own journey, I am reminded of the power of vulnerability, of the transformative magic that can occur when we dare to open ourselves up to the world. I think about the times when I felt like I was standing on the edge of a precipice, staring into the void, and wondering if I had the courage to take the leap of faith. And I think about the times when I felt like I was falling, like I was plummeting towards the earth with no safety net to catch me. But I also think about the times when I felt like I was flying, like I was soaring on the wings of my own resilience, and like nothing could ever bring me down. The times when I felt like I was home, like I was exactly where I was meant to be, and like everything was going to be okay. And it's those moments, those fleeting glimpses of transcendence, that have given me the strength to keep going, to keep pushing forward, even when the road ahead seemed uncertain. As I share my story with you, I want you to know that I see you, I hear you, and I believe in you. I believe that you have within you the power to overcome any obstacle, to rise above any challenge, and to emerge from the darkness into the light. I believe that you are stronger than you think, braver than you feel, and more resilient than you know. And I believe that you are not alone, that there are others out there who are walking with you, who are cheering you on, and who are waiting to welcome you home.